Okay, so people, let's get into this video. It's more of a rhetorical question because I've seen things change from what they were to what they are now. So let me say, when I ask this question, how did we get to this point in society where everything is about divide and conquer? It's not about people uniting. It's always about war. It's always about hatred. It's about segregation, separation. This is how ignorant people live their life. I'll tell you something, and you can take it for what it's worth. You can learn about human behavior, a whole lot about it, just by listening to professional wrestling fans talk. You can learn a whole lot about human behavior just listening to people talk about what console they like the best. The type of insults and comments that they attach to something with so much anger and hatred for a person or for a thing. You realize an Xbox is just a thing. A Nintendo Switch is just a thing. A PlayStation is just a thing. Atari game station or whatever, it's just a thing. How do you look at something and feel so much hatred? Why is it that people only want to express anger? Think about it. They will go out their way to express anger, but they do not like to get into things that they enjoy. Everything is, I hate. You probably talk to people every day. Some of you probably are like that. I hate this. I hate that person. I hate that. Oh, I hate this game. Why are you so full of hate? If you don't like something, just don't indulge. Why do you make it seem like someone's forcing you? And I've even heard people use that phrase. They're forcing us to pay this. They're forcing us to watch this. No, they're not. You're choosing to do that. Now, purpose of this video: Vince McMahon Sr. and Vince McMahon Jr. You know that saying, like father, like son? Father, not like son in this situation. Vince McMahon Sr. was about wrestling, uniting wrestling, not trying to tear down a promotion, not trying to separate and segregate a promotion. He was about professional wrestling. Now, I don't know him personally, of course. I don't know if he had racism in him. I don't know if he had bigotry and prejudice. I don't know. Okay? But I'm saying from a standpoint of wrestling organizations, he wasn't about trying to put other companies out of business. He wasn't about trying to gloat and lie in storylines and make it seem like he conquered and did things that he didn't do, or make the show about him and pump his ego up. That's not what Vince McMahon Sr. did. In fact, back in the day, we saw Jack Tunney far more than we ever saw Vince McMahon Sr. Now, he was known to have promotional, like cross-promotion matches and stuff like that. This is where you guys come in with the slave mentality. His son is completely different. See, you guys always talk about what Vince McMahon did, and Vince did this, and he made that empire. Vince McMahon, okay, was born with a silver spoon in his mouth. Vince McMahon was given something. He inherited something. Stop talking like he built the WWE from the ground up. Stop acting like he took his money, he reached out to this person, that person, and he himself started a company called the WWF. No, his dad. Okay, stop. His dad was the one who did that. Okay? If not for his dad, the WWE wouldn't be here right now. Vince wouldn't have done what he did. He had an incredible launching pad to take his ideas and implement them and take the WWF to new heights, yeah. But he had that. Let's stop acting like he created something on his own, because he didn't. But his father was different. See, our mindsets was different, because when we went to school, All the kids are talking about what we saw on WCW Saturday Night or NWA at the time. Or, oh, you saw AEW, AWA, and the Raw Warriors came out and attacked the Fantastics, and we Smoky Mountain. We watched professional wrestling, and there was no which one is better and who's this and who, man. All we dream matches, all this. What if this guy fought that guy? That's what we did. There was no internet. There was no social media. We had the wrestling magazines. Okay. It wasn't about divide and conquer. We just love the fact that we can go watch professional wrestling. And I guess depending on where you lived, certain people got certain things that others didn't. But one by one, we watched all of these companies lose TV deals and eventually go out of business or get bought out, whatever. Now we don't have all of these different federations to watch, right? So it comes down to, we had, WCW still. We had WWF. I'm talking about on TV, something that we could watch weekly. There was nothing else. ECW came along, then eventually WCW was bought. ECW went out of business. They had their ups and downs, and then it just came down to just the WWE. And it was like, in terms of wrestling, it was a sad day in wrestling. Like, damn, there's nothing else to watch. Now you guys started saying this bullshit about how Vince is better when he has competition and all this. Well, here's the thing, right? Does it make you feel good? The idea, even though he lied about, he didn't conquer shit. We know what happened with WCW. Okay, the real ones know, and the truth has been spoken. Okay, by the people that took over, TBS and everything. The truth came out. It had nothing to do with Vince. Vince McMahon didn't conquer anything, but that's what I mean about his massive ego, man. Now, here's the thing, okay? When we were sitting back watching Raw, SmackDown, whatever, and there was no Nitro, no Thunder, nothing, I can remember sitting there like, wow. They were giving us a bunch of nothing for a long time. And I would watch and I just had no interest in what I was watching. This wasn't, oh, I'm sad because WCW's gone. No, the product was just, we're watching it and it's like, what is this shit, man? What is the WWE doing? What are they doing? And they brought some people in that I tuned in, like Scott Steiner, tuned in to see what he was doing. They brought Goldberg in, they brought Eric Bischoff in. And it wasn't a consistent thing where I'm just watching and it's just like, okay. TNA comes along and I'm watching. I saw that very first show and everything, and I'm like, man, this was a great damn show. These motherfuckers, they can wrestle. They had it was fun. It was fun to have that. The whole thing, it was fun. That's what we look for: good times and fun. That's all. I'm not sitting here with a notebook and paper and pen in hand, waiting to jot down notes to complain about. No, I'm watching the show, and it's to the point where, see, when you get away from the wrestling business side of things and everything is about sports entertainment, and you start to talk and do things in a way where there's no real fun in the show. For those who are okay with that, they don't see the point. For those who are not okay with it, because it's like, I've outgrown this childish presentation that they have, you just move on. With those who defend garbage, what does that say about them? And the point is, we came up in the era of watching wrestling as kids, where we saw wrestling. Other promotions talked about other promotions on their show. Like, we've heard NWA mention Smoky Mountain several times. They had wrestlers from Smoky Mountain come wrestle in NWA and vice versa. We've heard, that going on. So we know that This was a thing where these companies were working together. It's the Vince McMahon. You want to say he's responsible for something? Okay, Vince McMahon is responsible for the mindset of people with the whole divide and conquer bullshit. So when we're sitting there and we're watching this shit, and I'm saying, how does it make people feel good? Just the fact that there's no more Nitro. People were celebrating. WWE fans were literally celebrating. They were jumping up and they were making it like, you know, like this was Christmas, and they walked downstairs and had like 1,000, like literally 1,000 gifts. And they were really acting like this was some conquering moment. And I'm just sitting here like, damn, they made it seem like this was the Super Bowl and the team that they wanted to win won. And it was like, I don't understand this mindset. I really don't. Now, the competition side of things, where, you know, both companies are trying to outdo the other and all, whatever. This is the way Vince made it. This is not the way WCW made it. This isn't the way the NWA made it. This is the way Vince made it. So you guys that always praise Vince, this is part of, you know, what you guys do. This is why when Eric Bischoff won up that motherfucker and was telling what happened on Raw, don't even waste your time, such and such, Shawn Michaels just beat the big guy with the super kick, but keep it right here with actions hot and red, right? That was funny as hell. Why? Because Vince didn't expect that shit. And WWE, these trained lying sons of bitches, were trained to lie and they would lie about stories. If you really want to see how pathetic people in the WWE are, just go back and just watch the self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior and listen at the people how they spoke about the Ultimate Warrior. Then all of a sudden they made amends and they got together, and Hogan and Warrior end up squashing their beef, and Warrior and Nash end up squashing their beef and all. Now, they made a remake of this self-destruction of the Ultimate Warrior, and look at how everybody changed their story all of a sudden about the Ultimate Warrior. You don't think they were paid to say all those things about the about how he was this, he was that? I don't know him. He might have been hard to work with. He might have been he seemed like a weird, strange person. He definitely seemed like a weird, strange person. But I'm saying in terms of the things that they were saying about him and trying to talk like he wasn't no fucking draw. Motherfucker, without Hulk Hogan, without Andre the Giant, Ultimate Warrior, and Macho Man fought at that WrestleMania and had 83,000 people there. Along with whoever else was on the card that people came to see, okay? But bottom line, 83,000. I look at that, and it shows you how even the people that you sit there and cheer for are scumbags. People are scared to say, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to sit here and try to degrade that. He's never done anything to me. Hey, listen, we've bumped heads several times. There's people that feel things about me. Okay? Guess what? I'm not here to be a part of you trying to tear somebody down. Oh, but Ultimate Warrior and these guys piece it up, then he passes away. Now you want to make a new video. You guys don't see anything wrong with that. Well, this is what scumbags do. So instead of wrestling fans being able to enjoy wrestling fans are, and you're grown-ass men and women, so don't get me wrong, you're responsible for your own actions. But my point is, that's the mentality of Vince McMahon Jr. That's where this shit comes from. We don't want another company to be on the same level as us, to be as big, bigger, or whatever, as good, better. We don't want that. We want these little tinker toy companies where, you know, we can just take their wrestlers when their contract is up, because we can pay them far more than what these little small companies can pay them. So this is pretty much how things go. This is how things have always been. You guys think Vince McMahon, you think WWE is just now starting to just buy other companies and trying to purposely block another company? It's not going to work anyway. But do you think that this is something new? See, I'm going to tell you something. I remember, and I'll tell this story boldly. A town I used to live in, There was a next door neighbor I had who we were cool as kids. Then he decided he wanted to be a drug dealer. Man, he decided he wanted to just really fuck his life up. One day, I'm outside. I'm coming home. I have on, earphones and shit. I have weights on my ankles, weights on my fucking hands and shit. And I just see these two police officers walking towards me. They're like, hey, what's going on? They're like, yeah, we need to talk to you, man. I said, so talk. I said, nah, private nothing. I don't talk to you about what? Yo, man, come on, man, chill. We just want to talk to you. We want to talk business. I'm like, talk to me from where you are. I don't trust you. Come on, man, it's not like that, man. We really need, listen, hear me out. Please, hear me out. We know your next door neighbor, such and such. We know he pushing weight around here. We know that. And I know you and him cool, this and that. Now, at this point, me and him really wasn't that cool. We wasn't that cool. At that point, we were cool as kids, and then now it's kind of we drifted apart. His lifestyle was his and mine was mine. To cut to the chase, they told me they would give me $10,000. $10,000. This is what the police told me. $10,000. They wanted to give me a gun and some drugs. They wanted me to go in his house, right? Like ring the bell, yo, what's up, and then whatever, however, And they didn't understand. I wouldn't have did it anyway. And even at this point where me and him wasn't really that cool no more. You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, it was like, I don't live like that. $10,000 they wanted to give me. They said they wanted me to put the drugs in his house, right? And they said to let me know where I put it. They're gonna bust him, right? 10,000. They're like, they'll give me an extra $5,000, right? After everything is smoothed over, you don't know nothing about it, you had nothing to do with it, just move on. You got $15,000. Now they're asking me to do this to a guy who I really wasn't that cool with anymore. I said, fuck no, I'm not doing no shit like that. And I started getting loud and people started coming out. Yo, leave that young man alone. Why don't y'all go find some fucking criminals to fuck with? Y'all like this, that. And they started, the street started getting crowded. Like people was coming out there. What the fuck wrong with y'all? Yo, he don't fuck with nobody. He ain't did nothing to nobody. This and this, right? I think I was about 17 years old when this happened. They were trying to get me to set dude up. They tried to get me to frame dude. Do you know how many people would have did that shit? Do you know how many people that he knew that he was chilling with him every day, and I wasn't, would have did that and set his ass up for that $15,000? I said, nah. There's no amount of money that I'm not doing that. Do you know how many people go, Charlotte did it? Exactly. And if people around you are like that, you need to understand your circle's already tainted and fucked up. What do you think you're watching when you watch a show and you hear these things about a company trying to block another company? You hear these things about people trying desperately to get top stars from another company just to get them in that company and do nothing with them. It's just, nah, we took one of yours, little childish shit like that. How does that make you feel good? I don't understand this. I pick a side and I choose one side and I pledge allegiance. Like, you guys are straight up losers. You guys are nerds. You're the type of dudes that probably got beat the fuck up every year in school. Probably had no friends. You had the misfit nerds that got together that nobody wanted to be around, and you guys probably just talk a lot of, said a bunch of goofy shit about people behind their backs. I don't even see you guys as really grown men. I don't see any maturity. I don't even hear any grown-up conversations. Somebody posted something on one of my other social medias and saying some shit like, oh, quality doesn't mean anything anymore. because WWE is going to make their money guaranteed even if nobody watches, and this and this and this. Like, asshole, listen here. You have a certain amount of time. Like, if they say, for example, you have a 3-year contract, and in those 3 years is guaranteed X amount, okay, cool. You better believe if their numbers is in the crapper, and Netflix feels like they don't like those numbers, they will not renew their fucking contract. And in fact, if the fact that you're even saying that, as if, see, you're saying fuck the fans. This is how stupid you are. You are the one getting screwed. Because it's like going to a restaurant, they burn all your fucking food, they bring you dirty fucking utensils, okay? Shit like that, and they're serving you this food, and somebody's complaining, and you're going, well, why don't you go eat somewhere else? This is the best restaurant in the world. But they're serving you all food on dirty utensils. They're burning your food, they're not even making the food properly. But you're defending them. So, bottom line, this is how incredibly stupid WWE fans are. I gotta say it like it is. You guys are defending the fucking company. Bro, it's like I said, I don't work for AEW. I have an Xbox. I don't work for Microsoft. I have a Nintendo. I don't work for Nintendo. There's no pledge of a fucking allegiance. It's just what I like. If I don't like something, this is the thing about WWE fans that can't admit truth. This is why you guys get so upset when a WWE fan is speaking their mind about being, not really digging where they're coming from right now. That the product is stale and it sucks right now. I see people putting up videos. WWE desperately needs Roman Reigns. They just had Roman Reigns. They bring Roman Reigns back, and every fucking time they bring him back, all he do is fight against fucking CM Punk and Seth Rollins. We keep seeing the same shit over and over. Okay, they bring Roman Reigns back. What's going to happen when they bring him back? What is Roman Reigns going to do is going to blow our fucking socks off. The problem isn't Roman Reigns. The problem isn't Seth Rollins. The problem isn't the fucking... It's the fucking creative. They're not giving us shit creative. So, big deal you bring Roman Reigns back. What's going to happen? The Rock can come out and draw bigger ratings than anybody on that roster just for coming in there. The Rock says, New York City, we're live on Monday Night Raw, and blah, blah, blah. And they're going crazy. And he doesn't have to do shit. He doesn't have to wrestle. All you have to do is come in here, talk about poontang pie, and smile and shit and insult people and whatever the fuck it is he gonna do, whether he's a good guy, bad guy. All you gotta do is come in and talk shit. And his segment will be the highest segment of the whole fucking show. So you bring Roman Reigns back. And I'm not saying don't bring Roman Reigns back, but I'm saying what's gonna happen if you bring Roman Reigns back? You're begging for Roman. Roman comes back 2 weeks later. No, the following week, the same week, you're complaining about how they use Roman Reigns. The following week, another complaint. The following week, more complaints. 2 months later, more complaints. So now you're going to say, oh, they got to bring Cody back. Oh, it's always, you guys did the same thing with the whole Vince McMahon family. Everybody was a fucking general manager. You begged. When you got them, you wasn't satisfied. You see, imagine a boxer that would admit, every one of my tough opponents, after I beat them, I hope they die, so I don't have to ever fight them again. You wouldn't think that was some harsh shit? I mean, I know it's a different type of comparison because they're not dead, but the company's dead, but these guys they just got to find something else to do in life. But how about you, where you work at? What if you got fired? You didn't have another job. Now you got to go out and find something. And what if you a job where, man, I literally work right down the street. I can walk to work. But you just get fired because somebody want to be an asshole. Some company want to buy that company out that you work for. And once they buy them out, they start firing all you guys and bringing their own crew. How would you feel? I'm not concerned about this shit. And I don't even see this shit working. It's just the intentions. See, I see what they're trying to do. And this is the old Vince McMahon nonsense. That's his mentality. Now, you hear the stories about he wants to buy WWE back. Guys, that motherfucker don't have enough fucking money to buy WWE back. You really think... First of all, it's not for sale. TKO is not trying to sell WWE. You think that Vince McMahon has enough money to just stop it, y'all? And at the same time, karma's a gray-haired old bitch, isn't it? See, you want to put somebody out of business. You lied about putting WCW out of business, but you had to step down and had all types of sexual assault allegations and everything attached to your name. Years and years, just like Diddy, years and years, Pat Patterson walking up to people, what flavor are you? Making homosexual comments to other wrestlers and shit. Now, all the shit that we heard throughout the years. Y'all better pay attention. What's his name? Smokey Robinson. This motherfucker's 85 years old. They coming after him now with sexual assault charges. 85 years old, trying to get $50 million out of him. The rapper, The Game, $7 million. 7.1 million. His home, he's about to have to give up over some scandalous shit he did with a fucking game show he created with some bullshit, scamming people. See, you guys don't understand. It doesn't matter how much you cheer for someone. It doesn't matter how much you want to see a person win. If you can skip over, it's like, imagine if I went to your neighborhood and bought all the kids' book bags, did a shoe drive, and did everything, helped you get supplies for school, all the kids in your neighborhood, boom, they all got new book bags. Mom and dad ain't got to spend that. They got new shoes. Okay, cool. They got all the school supplies they need. I done hooked them up. But then I go out and I screw one of these little kids. You think that the court gonna say, well, Your Honor, you think, man, imagine my attorney going, well, Your Honor, look, he did have sex with the girl. She's underage, but come on, y'all. I mean, he bought book bags and shoes. They all went to school supplies. I mean, come on, that got to count for something. I'm just saying, yo. Vince McMahon did a scheme where Triple H kidnapped Stephanie. Remember, she's like 17 years old or some shit. She's there like he drugged up or something, or chloroform, that she's there, he gonna kiss her and sit there, like all that. See, that's the type of shit y'all like. That goofy shit. I can tell you though, what you guys are failing to understand is, through time, you change. Like, as a grown-ass man, see, I was never a goofy. I was never a simple-minded motherfucker, but I can't think the way I did 20 years ago. Just know what I'm saying? Your maturity, you do things different. Now, knowing what's hot and knowing how to put shit out, no, it's in me. What I'm saying, though, is there's certain things that I might have said or did 20 years ago that I won't say or do now. You understand what I'm saying? And things change. And then certain things, like, people don't like change. They really don't. But the things that you want to go back to being the same, you got to understand, it's different people. Shit becomes stale. And you got to understand, like, the process is going to happen. Now, you can either trust the process or you don't. But if you guys understand, a lot of this is just things blowing up in people's faces. You're not scared of competition. Why are you trying to book your show the same night? Why are you trying to get all their top stars as soon as their fucking contracts are up? We know why. Whatever happened to the fact that we just want to watch professional wrestling? We grew up not giving a fuck about what it was. We just wanted to watch it. That's what we did. This generation, and I'm telling you, this is due to the Vince McMahon mindset of divide and conquer. I want to be the only big dog in town, and none you guys have that mentality. Like, there's not supposed to be another top company. There's not supposed to be competition. Remember that promo that Cody Rhodes cut that night, and he said, AEW is here to stay. We are not an alternative. We are competition. And the AEW crowd was, right? Okay. So what you think went wrong with Cody Rhodes? I mean, like, he helped start AEW, right? You see, at one time you could say every 5 years. Now it's like every 3 years, man, really. You can really say every 2 to 3 years. The minds of sets of people change. People don't do things long term anymore. Like when you was growing up, when you bought an album, right? Cassette, whatever the fuck. You was listening to that shit 2-3 years straight. The new album came out, you listened to it, now you're listening to both of them motherfuckers. That's just how we did it. Now, nobody cares about an album. It's all about singles. And pretty much, it wasn't about glorifying these people. It's just, this is what you liked. Now, everything is, I'm bored. People get bored really quickly. So, here's the thing, right? As the audience changed and Cody stayed the same, it's like, okay, your company go through growing pains. Remember how they kept wanting to see Cody turn heel so bad, and all these content creators kept saying the same shit, but Cody didn't turn heel? They even had through Arn Anderson with them feel like Arn would be able to give him a boost and they'll start to cheer him, right? They was cheering Arn, but they were booing Cody. Now Cody took that same lame, tired gimmick over to WWE, and they accepted it. More than anything is because Cody came back from AEW, a company he helped start. That's why. If Cody was in TNA. Cody traveled and did other things. Did Ring of Honor. If Cody came from any other company, it would not have had the same impact at all. At all. It was because it was AEW, and AEW is the competition. That same old lame, tired fucking gimmick. You know the thing about Cody? Cody was known for cutting very passionate promos. He hit home with his promos. And then it just became overkill. That was Cody's thing. Only when he was at AEW, he wrestled. But he would come out, he'd talk, and it's, the same thing. I want to do what my dad couldn't do. I want to bring the world championship home, and I wanted this, and I right, and that was his. Everything was about Cody, about his father. Everything is about this whole finishing his story shit didn't start in WWE. It continued from AEW. He wasn't in the plans when he was Stardust. Okay, this all stemmed from him coming from AEW. When CM Punk left, he couldn't keep AEW's name out of his fucking mouth. Every fucking time somebody talked to him, they had to bring up, and he had to just go on and on and on about AEW. These guys are all opportunists. You guys look at them like they're gods. You look at them like they're better than you. You're beneath them. That's how you look at them. You want autographs. You want to take pictures. This is, oh my God, I took a picture of CM Punk. So what? He's just a fucking skinny-ass, tattooed motherfucker with a gray beard. It's just a human being. That's it. That's how I see people. I don't fucking see no entertainer, no celebrity, no different from the way I see any of you. But you guys, with this idol worship shit, you do this, and here's the thing, right? One day, you motherfuckers will be sitting there talking about CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, whoever, and somebody be like, who the fuck is that? Oh, you don't know when I was coming up, and that's what you're going to be, and they're going to be like, I don't know those guys. And when they finally, that old guy, right, and you know what they're going to tell you? Your generation sucked. That generation of wrestling was crap. That's what they're going to tell you about your WWE. Just like you say about the generations before now. And you guys just love to hear yourselves talking about nothing. Vince McMahon used to always, whenever he would speak, try to make it seem like he's always in control. He got everything under control. He's just the guy. Listen, Vince is a smart dude. Vince is a vicious dude. Vince is like a shark that sees blood in the water. That's what Vince is. But even sharks get killed and captured, don't they? So, case in point, Vince lost his WWE. Okay? I don't care about all the personal stories. That's some sad shit that's going on. But maybe he deserves it. Because if the allegations are true, he definitely deserves it. But this is my point. You guys are quick to go, hey man, but this guy, he did this and that for wrestling. Stop saying what the fuck he did for wrestling. He did this shit for the WWE. He didn't do shit for wrestling. He did what he did for the WWE. Okay? All these other promoters and different wrestlers and other companies is why these companies got to where they were. The problem is, once again, there were no other multi-millionaires or billionaires other than Ted Turner, who didn't have wrestling knowledge. But bottom line, it didn't matter. That wasn't the problem. The problem was, that company, whatever, Comcast, whatever it was, the company that bought TBS. I saw one of the guys talking. He said, no, we simply just didn't want a wrestling show. And so we got rid of that. And it was kind of quick. It was just, we came in with knowing we wanted and didn't what we didn't want and whatever. Now check this out. Vince McMahon loved wrestling so much. You know how much he bought WCW for? $2 million. Yeah, only $2 million. That's what Vince. Chris Jericho told the story. Out of his own mouth, he said, it didn't matter how high on the totem pole you were. Even if you were the most important, like the biggest star. Everybody got paid $2 million. Like, as far as, like, that was the highest you was going to get. Now, it could have been bonuses and stuff like that in certain scenarios and things, but like he said because of what he did and made that move to AEW, he said all of a sudden wrestlers are now getting $40-50 million. Like, that the money went way up. Okay. Once again, someone who decided to go to AEW caused other people to live a lot better financially. Now, you guys claim you love Adam Copeland. You guys claim that once you loved Mercedes Moné, right? You loved all these former WWE people. So if that's the case, I definitely don't want your kind of love. Because if that's the case, how does it make you feel good if AEW did go out of business? How would it make you feel good if none of them were able to come back to WWE? How would that make you feel good? And you think that they're supposed to care about what you want. That's their personal life. Rhea Ripley right now, you guys are complaining about her. You're calling her Rhea Hogan. You're saying that she keeps getting all the title shots. She is ruining the women's division. See, and the funny thing is, for every complaint that I hear, this is not coming from AEW fans. This is coming from straight up WWE diehards that's sick of the product, that want to see the product get better. But it's the diehard idiots that follow. It's the sheep that follow behind them going, oh, but I thought Monday Night Raw was solid. I thought that SmackDown was solid. Yeah, you would. Because you don't know shit about wrestling. And all of y'all keep talking about the little bedtime stories. That's all I hear you guys talking about. So this narcissistic motherfucker, very smart business-wise and everything, yeah, but guess what? At one point, Suge Knight was on top of the world, wasn't he? Look where he at now. At one point, Diddy was on top of the world, wasn't he? Bill Cosby was on top of the world, wasn't he? I mean, the list goes on. Look what happened to all those people. So see, the WWE has made it clear. All they care about is money, man. All they care about is money. You guys are so unappreciative of good shit that you say stupid things like, yo, I ain't gonna front. Yo, the AEW pay-per-view, them shits be hitting home, bro. Them shits be busting. Only thing I don't like is they're just too long. And I'm like, so riddle me this. If you don't want to watch 0 Hour, are you too fucking dumb to just get up and do something else or watch something else? They give you the countdown and they'll tell you, okay, starts in 2 hours, right? And it's counting down. Why the fuck do you sit there and watch it just to complain about it's too long? Watch it when it starts. This like the fact that I even have to explain this. It's like, who am I talking to? Are you guys a bunch of kids or what's going on? Because the truth is, for $50, $55, whatever, AEW charge you, and you get at 0 Hour, of course, they're talking about the show, the lineup. It's the build up. Okay, the 0 hour is the build up. Then you'll get like 2, maybe 3 matches within that build up. But you don't have to sit there and watch the 0 hour if you don't want to. But they give you more, and you complain it's too long. Wow. Wow. You know what makes me laugh, man, when I watch a WWE event and they got Big E and all them sitting there at the table like this is fucking ESPN, like this is Sports Center or some shit. And this shit just makes me laugh, man, because they really try to give you this feeling like they're just leaps and bounds above everything else. I'm like, bro, it's not even a fucking real sport, man. And you guys are really trying so hard to push this like it's a real sport. And then you come out and tell your fucking fans storylines don't have to make sense. You come out and tell your fucking fans that they need to go fuck off. Do you guys remember when Macho Man had that beef with Jake the Snake? And that snake bit Macho Man? You remember that shit? His brother Lanny Poffo told a story that even though they supposedly had drained the venom or whatever all out that snake, that Macho Man ended up really getting sick behind that bite, right? Remember that shit? Yeah. You couldn't even do that shit right now. And this was way before the Attitude Era. You couldn't even do that kind of shit now. Remember that night when I think it was a Doberman Pinscher or a Rottweiler, I think it was a Doberman, went after Sting and he was going after Sting's arm. But you know Sting had the shit because the dogs know to attack when they have the... But you know what I'm saying, of course. But what I'm saying, you wouldn't even see anything like that now. AEW gives you anarchy in the arena. AEW, I mean, they give you some shit, man, that you're not going to see on WWE. And you know what you hear people say? Oh, I think that was a bit too much, though. Oh, I think that was over the top. Okay, but somebody fucking somebody else's wife isn't. Somebody kidnapping a 17-year-old girl isn't. Brian Pillman pulling a gun on Stone Cold, that isn't. It's always when the competition is doing better shit than the so-called bigger company, the biggest company. Now, oh shit, you know what? We can't applaud that because WWE's never done that shit. Moxley gets suplexed on that fucking spike board. That shit stuck into his back. I'm like, oh, this is some incredible shit right here, man. No, you squirmish little, oh, no, oh, he could have killed, oh my God, this is too brutal. I thought y'all said it was garbage. See, no, y'all like Barbie dolls and Ken dolls and people that's not even believable. Don't even look like they can harm anybody. And this is what, I mean, I swear to you, man, I was watching, I forget this chick, I forget this chick's channel, but she was playing 2K25. They got a fucking wrestler dressed up in a tennis outfit. This isn't somebody that was created. Like, this is somebody in the game that's already in this game part of the story. This motherfucker had on a tennis outfit with a little scarf around like a Ken doll. This is what I'm telling you guys. This is a very, very sissy-ass generation. And the fact that Vince McMahon, I tell you what, Vince would probably not admit this shit. But looking at how Vince did things and looking at what they're doing right now, I'm willing to bet you, man, Vince is sitting back going, what the fuck are you guys doing to the WWE? What are you doing? What kind of bullshit is this? I guarantee you Vince is not happy with this shit, man. You guys, when Vince McMahon revamped NXT with that colorful ass set, all those splash colors and shit, that was Vince's doing. And you guys were basically talking about, yeah, Vince is going to do this and that. And then you guys didn't like it. Hunter comes over, him and Sean, whatever they're doing, they go back to the black and gold. Right? The colors don't fucking matter. It's the product. Even though them colors was like, I'm just like, I mean, it is what it is, but goddamn, that shit looks like some children shit. Like when you walk into a playground, they got the walls colored all colorful with little cartoon characters. That's what that shit just didn't like, some grown up shit, man. I'm just sitting there like, wow, man. I mean, like, this just don't. This is supposed to be a gladiator sport, man. It looked like a women's arena. Like seriously, that shit was cool if it was a women's arena. Like real shit. It just didn't look. It just didn't look badass at all. It really didn't. Okay. But everything that Vince is trying to do, everything is always about being greedy. Money, 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 money. That's all. Now, in terms of the fans, it's still all about, believe me, money. But I believe Vince cared more about the fans than these motherfuckers do. Now, I'm not going to tell you Vince ain't never say fuck off to nobody or had the thought. Hey, I don't know that. But I'm saying, I believe that he cared more about the audience than these motherfuckers that's there now. But it's always money first. Because let's be real, I also saw wrestlers that the fans wanted to see get that push, and Vince was like, nope. Okay? They put who they want. See, Vince Sr. had better structure. The shows nowadays, you know, you don't even, the term family show or family oriented is like a dead term now, because you got people bringing their kids to the movies where they're like getting ass naked and doing fuck scenes and cursing and swearing, and so whatever, man. But it was a different day and time, man. And I'm telling you, what we're seeing right now, it's more money. It's about more. Like they're making more money now than when Vince was there, right? So the success rate went up in terms of more money. But is it a better product overall? The people that support, like people support things. Let me tell you something for sure. I've seen this myself several times. Okay, I remember going to a boxing match, and I'm telling you, there were people that was there. They didn't even know who the fuck was fighting. They literally was saying like, who's fighting? Oh, okay. Where's he from? Oh, same. Oh, okay. Then you have people, oh, Mexico, from that. Okay, oh, all right. But they say, okay. They're just cheering because somebody's their countryman. They don't even know who the fuck the person is. But there's going to be celebrities there. They're going to do, take pictures on the red carpet. They're going to put this on their Instagram. They're going to, all this kind of shit. They're trying to promote something that they're coming out in with a movie or a book or some shit like that, or a show that they're doing. They didn't even know who the fuck was fighting. This is what people do. They don't care. They just support something just to feel like they're a part of something. I remember there was this dude, I think his name was Paul. And me and this dude named Phil, I used to call him Macho. Macho Man was his favorite wrestler, and that motherfucker used to imitate Macho Man to the point. Real shit. He had a street fight. And he jumped off a fucking car and tried to get somebody else. He did the macho sign, everything. This is how fucked up somebody was. And I'm telling you, at that time, that motherfucker was like 37 years old. He was way older than us. Like years older than us. Way, way older than us. We couldn't believe he did that shit. Like, wow. And this is how the effect that people have, these celebrities have on people. We've seen all that shit happen. These motherfuckers don't care. They just want to be a part of something. They see a massive crowd. They hear the roar. They hear everybody's, hey, I was there. You always hear people, I was there. So what, man? I'll never forget that moment. Well, what if you get Alzheimer's? Just saying. What if something happened, you get in a car wreck and become a vegetable and your brain stops functioning? I'm just saying, I know what you mean, but I'm saying, what does that one moment do for the rest of your life? Man, moments come and go. You've had great moments with your wife, and y'all still divorced. You have great moments with your kids. Y'all don't even speak. So just saying, it's not that serious to me. But this is how people carry themselves. This is the way people see things. So when I'm looking at what Vince Sr. did and the things that people said about Vince Sr. as opposed to Vince Jr., it's like a difference between night and day, man. And when you don't give a fuck about the audience, you want to give them... See, Vince, this is what Vince would do. Vince's attitude was more like, look, I know what you think you want, but I know what's best for you. That's what Vince did. Vince didn't, I'm listening to my fans and I'm going to do... No, I can say in certain senses, it's like, okay, they listen somewhat. But overall, no, I know what's better for you than you know for yourself. That was his approach. That's what you can see happening in the long run, man. You didn't control Vince. You wasn't making Vince do anything differently. This right here, where you hear The Rock and Triple H on the same page and all this stuff that people are talking about, I don't know how much of it's fabricated, how much is legit. Don't know, and I really don't give a fuck. But at the same time, when Vince was doing his thing, there was nobody else. He had his creative team and all that, whatever. But what I'm saying, there was no, you do this and I do. Okay, no, Vince called the shots. Okay. Tony Khan says something that was very important. They were talking about Bryan Danielson at the last media scrum that they had for the last pay-per-view they just had for Double or Nothing. And he mentioned in there that Bryan Danielson works very, very close with us. We stay in touch every day. He's a huge part of what we got going on. There's several voices, different people. See, this is what Tony Khan is doing, and he's smart. See, people want to try to criticize Tony Khan. Oh, he should have somebody with experience to this and that. And you don't know what Tony Khan got going on. Tony Khan knows the second you start throwing a bunch of names around, dirt sheets come up. Controversy starts coming up. People start, he want to keep what goes on behind closed doors. What they don't mind giving to the public, cool. But you see what happened is when a person starts saying something, it's like right now. Okay, let me give an example. You ever see this shit on TikTok where they had these new controllers for the Nintendo Switch, and here you are trying to sell a product which would go with the Nintendo Switch, right? And they go, take these old Joy-Cons, toss them in the garbage. This is what you need, right? And they're showing you the new controllers, some controllers that they have not made by Nintendo, but they're showing you that they're more durable. Oh, they don't drift and this and that. But why did you toss the original Joy-Cons in the garbage? You don't think that was disrespectful to Nintendo? The fuck, you understand what I'm saying? See, when someone's trying to sell you something, they'll use any tactic to try to get your attention. When you try to sell your product, but you try to trash the other product, it's all of the same genre. How dare you say you love the business? No, you love your company. You think that Seth Rollins and all these people in WWE, you think they don't watch AEW? Of course they watch AEW. Of course they watch AEW. They probably don't watch TNA. They probably don't watch MLW. But wrestling fans watch professional wrestling. And I'm going to stress this and emphasize it till you motherfuckers get it. Wrestling fans watch professional wrestling. Just like in boxing, we tell you, you're not boxing fans. You're boxer fans. That's why your favorite fighter can fail a drug test, make racist comments, and do all types of foul shit, and you still support them because you are a boxer fan and you have no fucking morals yourself. They even support a scumbag. I don't even like racist storylines in wrestling. I feel like there's no place for it. There's no need for it, and that shit just turns me off. I don't like when people play roles like somebody's fucking somebody's wife and all this. I don't like that kind of shit. It's just certain shit I don't like at all, man. And it really, it's a turnoff. Like I said, listen to people talk. Listen to people talk. Listen to the things that they say and watch the things they type. It should make you go, wow. People are real scumbags, man. And the fact that people are okay with let's say, for example, if the NFL got bought by another company, how would you feel if they just came in and got rid of every fucking team that's there? And they had a whole slew of other football teams they bring in and introduce. This is the new NFL. Half of you guys would be like, man, fuck this, man. I don't know these motherfuckers. And why did they do it, right? It would be a whole different feeling, wouldn't it? Just think about it. You wouldn't even see the NFL the same way. Even if they gave a better product, you would still be like, nah, fuck that, man. I ain't for no damn Omaha. Man, fuck them. They the best team over there, but man, fuck that. The NFL was better. I don't like this. This is what you guys would do. But somehow when it comes to professional wrestling, it makes you feel good. The thought of other companies being put out of business and not being able to compete. And this is like, I always wondered, man, like, what would Vince Sr. tell his son if he was alive? They're like, you know, I say this. I got kids. One of my sons play basketball, and I tell him, have fun with what you're doing. Take it serious enough to give your best and understand it's a team sport, but don't take it serious enough to where you become miserable and obsessed with trying to be a narcissistic, egotistical asshole. Don't become that. Have fun. Life is about the journey, not just the finished race. Because in life, there's no finished race. There's always hurdles and obstacles. You look at any fucking rich motherfucker that's going to court right now because some chick said that he sexually assaulted him. Yeah, let them tell you. They didn't see that before, right? But they see that shit now like, damn. Who the fuck you think went through their 20s, 30s, right? 40s, whatever, doing a certain thing. Then these motherfuckers down there 70 years old. And all of a sudden now, you back and forth in court. You got people that, oh man, I got to get a reality show or something. I got to do something to make some money because, goddamn, I done spent millions on this fucking case trying to fight for my freedom. And yeah. And now you're in a position of, now, if you did dirt to people, right, you thought that you got past that. Do you think that Diddy thought he was ever going to go to jail? Do you think Suge Knight thought he was ever going to go to jail? I remember seeing Diddy, something had happened. It's when Diddy threw that $100 bill at that chick and told her he could buy her life and all that kind of shit. And I remember they was saying, like, somebody was talking to Diddy saying, like, how you don't worry about lawsuits. He said, man, I'm lawyered up. I ain't worried about no lawsuits, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm lawyered up and all that kind of shit. Arrogance. See, your lifestyle comes back to you. Like these idiots that get on these front of these cameras talking about gang banging, who they check in with when they fly to California and they go to different places, and they talk way too much, right? And then all of a sudden one day something happens and somebody's under suspicion, and then they start connecting the dots. And then your dumbass coming in front of a camera every fucking week jumping and talking about how gangster you are, right? How you this and you do that. Yeah, how you put niggas down and all that shit. And then all of a sudden, one day, flashing, breaking news, such and such arrested. Whoa, yeah. Why you motherfuckers are talking? The feds watch every fucking video that's put out. And they start putting these puzzles together. So while you're running your mouth, all you're doing is incriminating yourself and don't even realize it. And then when something happens to them, you got people talking about, yo, free such and such. Oh, that's fucked up what happened to such and such. Wait a minute. Such and such, the one that got, bragged about putting hits on people, the one that bragged about beating 2 murder cases, the one that bragged about how he pushed weight in the hood, the one that bragged about how he extort people and okay. So because this person's a celebrity, that's supposed to mean something? Some dumb motherfucker asked a question about how come when you become famous, it's like you more than likely get killed in the neighborhood you grew up in as opposed to traveling, going on the road somewhere. Why is it that people want to do the most harm to you where you from? Actually, this was a Jada Kiss Fat Joe show. I don't fuck with Fat Joe. Fuck that racist piece of shit, pointed head motherfucker. And he said, well, he's the one that asked the question. Jadakiss' response was like, I said, damn, are you trying to dance on eggshells, man? Because that answer was so fucking empty. I'll tell you really simple. The reason why when you usually get your life taken where you're from is because that's where you did all the fucking dirt. And there's still people around that you did dirt to. And just because you become famous, oh, that's supposed to go away because they're supposed to be happy for you now? You bragging your music about how you killed people, how you beat people up, you got people jumped, you did all right? Okay, so now you know people talk about how God don't like ugly. Notice celebrities let us say that. People can't nobody stop what God got planned for you. You know what I'm saying? God don't like ugly. So why is it when you become a victim of your own bullshit, this isn't a God don't like ugly moment and your ass being punished? Why is it somebody else's fault? People, I'm explaining these personalities to you because wrestling is an entertainment business. I watch it for that. I'm not watching it to be no fan of nobody's. I'm not watching it to idolize these motherfuckers. I watch it for the entertainment, for the enjoyment, to say, hey, that's a great show. And you know what? They got me captivated with the show. I'm going to keep watching. I don't praise these people, man. I remember one day, I was about probably 10. Me and my father we went to the barbershop. And me and my father, we sitting in there, and I forgot who the hell it was. But when I was a kid, all the guys that came in the barbershop, all they talked about, like if it was a boxing event or something, like they talked about boxing, they talked about politics. Like it was always like the same conversation every time we go there. And I remember though, this one guy is an older guy. He was much older. My father, what was in his 30s at that time, something like that. But anyway, early 30s or whatever my father was at the time. But the barber looked like he was probably in his 60s at the time. So it was a mix of mostly older people. My father was one of the younger adults in there. And I remember this one this one old guy. He said, he was talking about somebody he met. And he said, man, he said, man, well, most of these guys, anyway, he's talking, he says, yeah, I remember, he said, I tell you, he said, I don't look at none of these people like they special. They just people, that's all they are. And he was talking about some guy that was a white guy that played the saxophone. He said he never saw his face for years. He never thought about whether he was black, white. He didn't think about any of that. And he said when he found out the guy was white, he said that he actually was like, wow, he said, because I ain't never met a guy that could play jazz like that, soulful type stuff, a white guy. He said, and I'm okay. He said, so I didn't let that deter me from, appreciating his, his music. I love jazz. I play, that guy said he played like 7 different instruments. He said, don't you know when I met him? And I saw him and I said, hey, man, I really love your music. And he said, and God bless you, man, and hope you continue to do more. I really love your work. And he said the guy was walking. And he looked at him, he said, I was talking to you. And he said that the guy looked at him and said, yeah, nigga, I heard you. All you niggas think that I got to stop and talk to you. I don't make the fucking music for you. You just fucking like the music. Okay, I heard you. The fuck out of here. He said, I wanted to knock that summer bitch on his ass. He said, I looked at that motherfucker. I said, you racist mother. And I'm telling you right now, you do all of this glazing for these people. Now, they don't necessarily have to be racist, but you know what I'm telling you is they have all types of fucked up shit about them. But then they have to deal with people like you. Like example, I saw a video where Rhea Ripley and Damian Cross had got out of the same vehicle. And people, yo, mommy, sexy bitch, dude. And I'm just saying to myself, like, wow. Now, let's imagine that that's your woman. But this is how people talk to each other, right? I wish a motherfucker would come talk about my daughter, call him out. Like, yo, your daughter, that's a sexy bitch. Nigga, I will knock your fucking teeth out your mouth. But this is what I'm talking about. So dealing with people, you know, you put these motherfuckers on pedestals. They're human beings just like you. They just happen to make more money than you. And they're famous because you make them famous. You make them rich. But that's all this is. So you might meet these motherfuckers after you done glaze, and they might motherfucking make you feel like, you know what, you motherfucker, you, because you're a fan. And you want to fucking... Guys, do you know something is really wrong with you that you're willing to spend $30,000, $40,000 to go to fucking SummerSlam? You know something's wrong with you, right? Even if I had multi-millions, I wouldn't spend no fucking $30,000, $40,000 just to go sit and watch some motherfuckers fake fight around a fucking arena. No, that's ridiculous. You can pay $30,000, $40,000, and I'm guaranteeing you before SummerSlam even happens, what they do will not even come close. You will not see nothing as close as entertaining as Double or Nothing. Anarchy in the arena will outshine and surpass any fucking match on that fucking card. I'm calling it before it even happened. And you didn't have to pay close to no $30,000, $40,000 to go see it. Man, you guys have a lot of fucking growing up to do. Like, really. I watch this show for what it is, and that's that, man. Listen. Anyone that I've ever met, I told you I met Glacier, I met a couple, I've met several celebrities. I don't ever walk up to them and start talking to them. We just happen to be in the same area, something they might have saw me in the audience. Hey, how you doing, man? Thanks for... If they don't say shit to me, they're just people. That's it. That's all it is. They're just people. Right now, I can go do some things I got talents with, and all of a sudden, you motherfuckers start seeing me all over YouTube, but not talking to the camera, but performing, doing something you like, oh, shit, that's dude from Games of Entertainment. That's, oh, shit. Oh, now all of a sudden, he's a star. I'm the same person that I was sitting here in front of this camera talking to you right now. And this is how I see everybody. Only fucking hero I have is the motherfucker I see every day I look in the mirror. That's my only hero. Oh, that makes a kid feel special. Oh my God, Rhea Ripley picked up a kid and kissed him and signed his diaper. He's gonna always cherish this moment. Yeah, you'll say that little soggy fucking diaper full of soft shit because it has somebody's fucking scribbling on it. Like, you guys really don't understand. The more you are caught into the spectacle, the amount of money spent, the amount of money made at the live gate, this and that, and breaking records, the more you get caught in that, the less you respect human beings. And everything is about numbers to you. Of course, Vince McMahon Sr. wanted to make money, and of course, that's what he was doing. But what you do is undermine and overlook what he started and had great success with, and you reward Vince McMahon's greed. It's like the Old Testament and New Testament. People, I don't believe in the Old Testament. Okay, that's your choice, but who the fuck are you to pick and choose what's true and what's not true? And without the fucking New Old Testament, you don't get a New Testament. So how the fuck do you dismiss it? Oh, I know, because it talks about owning slaves and teaching people how to own slaves and all this and passing out to the generation of your kid. I know all the murdering. Go kill every man, woman, and child, and the babies and the animals too. But take the virgins for yourselves and do with them what as you wish. All that kind of shit, right? So you want to forget about that because the New Testament don't sound as harsh. So let's act like the Old Testament didn't happen. But I'm just saying, you don't get a New Testament without the old one. You don't get Vince McMahon Jr. without Sr. You don't get WWE without WWF, which Vince McMahon Jr. did not start, his father did. So stop the bullshit. Stop fucking lying to people. You can lie to yourself all you want. Stop lying to people. And bottom line is, see, greed is like anything. When the money gets too big, you start to get quantity over quality. And as long as people are making money, They don't give a fuck. All they care about is that you're paying for shit. You want to know what I find funny too? Every fucking time the WWE does something new and they want to get your attention, let's bring The Rock in. They always do the same thing. They do the same shit. Anything for ratings to get your attention. So somebody who might not normally watch, they're going to watch because The Rock is there or whatever, right? They talk about the WWE universe and you fools sit there feeling so special like they personally know you motherfuckers. But what ends up happening is you don't see them pop up again. You don't see, like, how many times have you seen The Rock at a media scrum? Triple H would come sit there. Where's The Rock? Where's you know? What is it that you guys don't understand? That people are just about money, man. Money. That's all they care about. When a person takes the time to meet and greet their fans, when a person takes the time, like one of the things I really respect about Tony Khan, because he did something that most of these other fucking owners, like these people, that they don't understand. Tony Khan is barely ever on camera. He did the one storyline where Jack Perry, fucked his neck up, and then you had people sit up there criticizing, why did he show up at something he showed up with the next day or the weekend or whatever I think it was something with the Jaguars or something. He showed up with the neck brace on. Dude, like, we all know it's a work. Like, bro, stupid. It's no different from a wrestler that does interviews in character. What was that to complain about? So, wait, he's going to not wear the neck brace the next day just to come on the fucking Collision or the follow with the neck brace on. How stupid would that look? Because he was still a part of the storyline. But you see what I'm saying? Just people just want to find something, and this is what I'm telling you. So what people do, I noticed this. You Vince McMahon Jr. lovers try to shit on and bury what Vince McMahon Sr. started. See, you guys are all about war instead of peace. But you're cowards. You don't want to be on the front line. You just want to talk your shit. I want to say this before I close this video. I can remember having a conversation with people. Lots of people. And I said, for all of you that's thinking about voting for Trump, Trump has talked so much shit. He complained about illegal immigrants. He complained about the fact that there's just too many foreigners here, period. Trump is not going to lower anybody's taxes. And he's a fucking Republican. Do you not understand? They do not have the best interest of middle class people. Factually. You can't believe all the shit he's talking. I said, all of y'all standing here right now talking about Trump. Are you racist as fuck or are you stupid or both? One of the biggest prejudices that men have is a woman being in charge of something. Now, I can say I understand it to a degree. Depends on who the person is, their personality, their character. I understand it to a degree why people have a certain fear of it, but that's one prejudice that people have, okay? As well as skin color. But let me tell y'all something. A lot of those people behind our back said we were angry black people. They don't know what they're talking about. They're just saying stuff, this and this and this. And I'm talking about in person. Do you know how many of those same motherfuckers? I don't know what happened. I vote for the Trump and that talking to me that they not take on my family, but I may take my wife and my daughter. I should come to the school bus. They take her in the squad car from the bus, and they send her deport my daughter and my wife. And I'm supposed to give a fuck now? I was one of the angry, pissed off black men that didn't know what I was talking about, right? Ain't it funny how you run back to the same person that warned you? Ain't it funny how all of a sudden now, the very people that you talk shit behind our backs because we was warning you. We were warning you. This motherfucker get in, all hell is going to break loose. Look at what's happening right now. He destroyed 150,000 police records, like dirty cops. So this off their records, so they can go out. What you think he meant when he said, do you want a police force that go out and do their jobs and not be penalized for doing their jobs? Right. You know who's doing all that clapping? People who don't feel threatened by them. People who is not getting pulled over because of their skin color. People that's not being called racial slurs when they get pulled over. People that's not being beaten and killed, and then bottom line, the cop get away with it. No, this is what I'm telling you guys. I'm just educating on you on real life with this shit, because you guys separate sports and entertainment away from real life. But this is what we get, man. This is what we get. And you know what? One more thing, because I just thought about this, and I don't need to do a separate video about it. I saw a video about Karrion Kross talking about Logan Paul. Karrion Kross made a valid point, but this is something that we've been knowing forever. This is nothing new. Karrion Kross said Logan Paul basically seems to think people have a problem with him because of his position in the WWE, right? The bottom line is, the issue that Karrion Kross and anybody else have with Logan Paul, it's not because of his position. Like he said, it's basically he's able to get his position because how he branded himself outside of the WWE, whereas other wrestlers was told that they couldn't. But yet he gets rewarded for what he did. If not for him branding himself outside, he wouldn't have had the push that he's got, right? He wouldn't be in that same position he's in. And so it's not him they're looking at. It's just the period, like it's just the fact that he's able to do what the rest of the fucking roster is told they can't do. You see what I'm saying? So he's saying how people been pros 20, 30 years and they've been promised a certain position. It's all about what you know, hey, how you produce and what you can show us in the ring and this, that, whatever. But then here's a guy who comes who basically just get a push because he's popular. Yeah, see, you always hear in the wrestling business people say things change all the time. People come to you and tell you one thing, then they do something completely different, right? And you've heard that more about the WWE than anywhere else. And one of the things is, notice wrestling fans talk a lot of shit about Tony Khan, but the wrestlers like, nah, Tony Khan was a great dude. Tony Khan was, this, that. And see, it's funny to me because I remember when CM Punk first left WWE, how he buried them for 7 fucking years. There's not a year went by that he didn't get in front of somebody's camera and talk about how the WWE ain't shit and blah, blah, blah. They're a bunch of liars. They're a bunch of dictators. But he ran back to them and tried to run back to them with the storyline of him leaving AEW. Oh, yeah. So all of these ups and downs and all the dirt that goes on, I've worked for a lot of places. I did a lot of things, and I know that people are people. So I don't idol worship anybody. I don't look up to nobody, and I don't bow down to no fucking body. And I'll tell you right now, instead of you guys, like, you can like what you want, that's your fucking business, but instead of you guys having some maturity and having some fucking dignity and some self-respect and think, man, why do I have to hate another company just to big up the one that I like? You know what? Why don't I just watch wrestling and just enjoy wrestling and stop worrying about trying to put a company down, biasly just saying shit or not understanding everything is different. But this generation is plagued with immaturity. It really is. You guys are so immature. You guys are sitting up here doing fucking lives, dressed up like hot dogs and shit. You're grown-ass men. Sitting up there with fucking taco suits on, dressed like a fucking potato. Like you guys are a bunch of goofies. You guys are weird as fuck, man. You're grown-ass men. And I just can't picture you sitting in a room dressed up like a fucking banana and you got a wife in the other room. I'm like, really? I see a bunch of single motherfuckers who don't want to grow up. That, don't get me wrong, I'm not telling you got to get a wife, because in this generation, especially this day and time, it's probably safer to be single. Yeah. But I'm saying, I'm not talking about you being single because gold digging, diamond digging holes. And I'm talking about you just being too immature to really have a meaningful relationship. I feel like a real fucking asshole sitting there dressed like a goddamn banana. Y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Step in the motherfucker, pull it up, put your arms in, zip it up, put it on your leg. Like, what the fuck, grown ass men walking around like that? And you guys are sitting up here being butthurt at people for liking another company. I told somebody the other day the same thing. This other guy, he loves AEW shit. He's always posting AEW stuff. You always have a comment section full of WWE retards. You can fucking read, right? Why do you choose to see WWE content and comment? Like, AEW content, and comment. What the fuck you think gonna happen? People gonna stop watching AEW because you don't want them to? It's stupid. Right now it's 8:19, so it's obvious I don't give a fuck about what's happening on SmackDown tonight, right? I might watch it later. I might not. But bottom line, people, me personally, it's not about AEW versus WWE or TNA or MLW. It's all just wrestling companies all doing what they do. We're not necessarily going to like everything we see. And we have the right to watch or not watch. All I'm saying is, it's better to just be genuine. If you just don't feel something, you don't feel it. But when you sit up and start just trying to attack everything, you sound really stupid. It's like, I used to tell my father this when I was younger. I said, Pop, why you always talk like a guy standing on the corner is a drug dealer? You sound just like the fucking cops. The same guy you talking about work with me. We take the fucking 70 bus up to the Livingston Mall and we go to fuck to work. Now, what if the cops see me standing and think just like you? Them niggas all out there selling drugs. You gonna believe them and think that's what I'm doing? I'm waiting for the bus. And it could be the type of thing where sometime before you get on the bus, let me run, okay, the bus coming 10 minutes, let me run in the store real quick, or let me run up to the store up there, or whatever. You have different locations that you can get to that bus stop, right? Excuse me. But what we used to do is we would go further down. Not further up, but further down. So we can get better seats. Because the closer he goes up, well, now you start to get more people. Excuse me. So this is what we would do. There's no law that say you got to catch the bus. Stop. You got to go to the bus stop that you live closer to. No, you get the bus from where you're going to get the bus. And it used to piss me off when my dad used to say that. Because I'm like, you categorizing people. I'm not selling no fucking drugs. I'm not saying you. No, you're not. But somebody else that think like you probably are saying I'm a drug dealer. And the police think the same fucking way. So if you're sitting up here, and I'm telling you, I know this dude. This dude works with me. See how you don't even know him, but I do. He's not selling no goddamn drugs. He's working. So if you was a cop, that's how you'd be thinking, Pop. My pop is very stubborn. It took a long time for that to hit him. For him to snap out of that shit. It pissed me off. Because that's my dad and I love him. But he was wrong. And this is what I'm telling you. You guys get pissed off because your beloved WWE sucks and you take it out on every other company. Oh, AEW sucks. Why the fuck do you keep watching it then? WWE sucks ass. Dog ass. But you keep watching that bullshit too. So what is it that you can watch that's going to make you feel good? And this is so damn silly, but this is the type of conversations I have to have with babies. I got to speak where you guys can understand me because I don't want to talk over nobody's head by just making too much common sense. Anyways, I'm tired of talking about this shit now. But no, Vince McMahon and his father, They were different as night and day, man. One cared about wrestling, the other only cared about the WWE. One wanted to unite everybody, the other wanted to be a dictator. You got something against people wanting to see everybody eat, wanting to see everybody make some money. Nah. We about divide and conquer. Well, WWE got a lot of internal problems going on right now. They got a lot of things going on that's not in their best interest. And like they say, justice will be served, right? Well, I'm just telling you, what goes around comes around. And if y'all think Vince McMahon is happy sitting on the sidelines watching all this shit go down, yeah, y'all some fucking fools. And the fact he want to buy that company back, what's going to happen? He's not going to buy the company back. They're not going to get that shit up. Vince don't have enough money to fucking buy that company. Oh, but he could make a deal. He can give them a certain amount up front, and then after they make profit, he can, yeah, whatever. TKO is not selling that shit back to Vince McMahon. He's not going to do that. They're not selling shit. And on top of that, how old is Vince now? Okay, so you guys really seem to think that people stay the same, but they don't. They don't. It's just like a rapper at one point in his life, he like, suck my dick, bitch. Fuck you, bitch. I'll kill you, nigga, right? There's some time go by, and this same dude is now talking about we got to increase the peace, the violence must cease, and people like, oh, that nigga got soft. What the fuck? That's what you call it. He didn't grow up immature. He got soft, okay? And then you start to look at how all the other rappers is getting killed. But I guess it's cool to be a hard, tough, dead motherfucker, right? Just saying, y'all. You know, like that sign that motherfucker held up, we are awful people. Yeah. Funny thing is, y'all think it's funny, but y'all are rooting for the wrong shit. That's all I got for you guys right now. Catch you guys on the next video.